My material is porcelain. I'm fascinated by its purity, by its cleanliness, by its sense of value, something that you treasure. And I'm curious about it. I'm curious about what you can do with it in the kiln under certain circumstances. Recently, I've started exploring the Japanese art of kintsugi, that of repairing broken ceramics using a mixture of lacquers and precious metal dusts, gold, platinum, and so on. It treats breakage and repair as part of the story of a piece. I find that really intriguing. So I've been thinking a lot about the semiotics of breaks and tears. And my interest in that, I think, stems from damage in relationships between people, between mother and child, between people and the planet. I'm also interested in the idea of a crack as a hiding place, as a sanctuary. So I've been looking at different ways of representing cracks, either within the piece or between two pieces. And I've also been thinking about kintsugi in another way and about what is so precious in our world and what could be more precious than the soil, which I've used to repair the fragment on the right there. So looking more closely at soil, I've taken some clay from close to where I live and fired that as high as I dared, and I'm quite excited by the outcome. So Plato described 5 platonic solids, convex, regular, polyhedron, of which the cube represents the earth. It's a source of some excitement to me that the cube represents the earth according to Plato, and I have this fascination with the need for our planet to be repaired and for its fragility. And so I have been making these very, very fragile boxes with layers which peel off for some time. So my cubes are tiny, my worlds are tiny. They're fragile, they're brittle, there are pieces that are peeling off them. And I like the scale, I like the challenge of being this small, I like the fact that it limits what I can do. It's intimate. Tacitus Dean in The Guardian in 2018 said that any artist who works in paint or chalk or film or whatever knows that sometimes the medium itself will give you something entirely unexpected and something far better than what you intended. And at that point, you follow the medium. And so that's what I've been doing, following the medium, testing things, exploring in the kiln and finding out just what this material can do. So here I've been looking at what I can do with the interior of my boxes and whether I can create intrigue inside.
So what about a broken earth, a broken cube? Can it be repaired? Can it be repaired with beauty, such as kintsugi, or are there other methods that might work? Is there some way in which we can repair our earth and admit the damage that we've done?
If you go further and look at what is left inside one of my boxes after firing, you find a pile of dust. And I'm thinking that this is an area that I really need to explore. How much of a pile do you have to remove before you no longer have a pile of dust? And what is the consequence of this for my exploration of the planet? An artwork really only exists when it's encountered, and so I've been thinking quite a lot about the fact that my work is small and it needs to be encountered in a very specific way. So here, using a cube of fused beach glass, I've been looking at mounting on driftwood. Thinking further about the encounter with an artwork, this piece, which is a further exploration of my vertical strata, not yet properly resolved, is mounted on a piece of concrete which I carried up the hill from the beach and is encrusted with barnacles. The way people encounter my work is very important. I want them to be able to come very close, to walk round the back, to peer through them, to look for what is hidden inside. So these pieces of driftwood would need some work, and actually I don't think they're tall enough because people would still have to bend down. This piece has become two-dimensional because of the way I've arranged it, but people could still draw close to it and have a good look at the details of the flaking boxes. For me, it speaks of repetition, of monotony, and of what we were all feeling at that time. The same piece, but now more hopeful, planted with seeds as a symbol of the hopefulness that maybe we're all feeling as a result of COP26. It's in a grid, and Ian has talked to me about the importance in my work of grids. I think it's accidental. It's not something I wish to pursue. I find it impossible to walk past a piece of wood like this on the beach. I have to pick it up. It's calling to me. It wants to be explored and examined. And so this one has had porcelain, which has been fired on nichrome wire or copper wire, and then replacing the bristles. So what's really playing out in my work at the moment is a fascination with the materials and a thingness which I really need to explore. But within that, I need to consider the concept, the idea of landscape and fragility, of vulnerability. And alongside that fascination with the material, I really do wish to explore the ways in which I can use porcelain to represent the fragility of our planet and the beauty of our planet, using the techniques that I'm beginning to develop.